Hello and welcome to Ring Takes here. We're back after an action-packed weekend. I'm Daniel with Brian and Lewis. PLE pay-per-view galore this weekend. King of the Ring off in Saudi Arabia, and we had AEW's wild, crazy, and intense Double or Nothing as another thrill-seeking event we'll get into momentarily. This is episode 64. Obviously, we're going to be talking about the King of the Ring, Double or Nothing recaps, but also Sexyy Red in NXT. But first, let's get off into Gunther is the King of the Ring after a grueling match with Randy Orton, an intense match. How do you guys feel about Gunther becoming the King of the Ring? The performance by him and Randy Orton in this match, and the direction each man is going to go going forward.
All right, hold up. Before you go, I'm gonna let you go first on this one, Lewis. But before we begin, I have to address something. Now, Daniel, that introduction. How are you gonna use all of those adjectives to describe AEW, but then you don't use any adjectives to describe how great King and Queen of the Ring was as a show? I mean,
we're getting into the show.
You talk about intense, crazy, and stuff. So King and Queen of the Ring wasn't intense. Didn't have great story. Things that didn't. Certain things, everything didn't matter on the show.
Did the King and the Queen of the Ring have a flamethrower?
I was literally about to say the same thing.
They did not.
They did not. So the answer is no. Did the King and Queen of the Ring have thumbtacks to the bottom of shoes?
They did not.
Did they hang a man in the middle of the ring upside down and kick him in the face with thumbtacks on the bottom of their shoes at any point in the Queen or the King of the Ring?
Clearly, we know all of the madness that happened on AEW. I'm just saying, and we're going to describe. Obviously, we're comparing the two. You can use those adjectives to describe Double or Nothing, but you got to give something that King and Queen of the Ring, saying it was.
If the answers to my questions are no, then let's continue.
I'm just saying.
We're giving them.
They were in Saudi Arabia, so it was probably so hot that it felt like flamethrowers.
Close enough. All right, see that's a good one. All right, that was.
Okay. The King and Queen of the Ring sizzling start to the summer. There we go. Is that good enough for you?
I will criticize Dan on one thing though. You can't in this section. You can't just say, "Oh, our King of the Ring Gunther." No, it's Gunther is our King of the Ring.
See, Lewis, I was even going to do all that, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just saying. I'm just going to say
there's only one person in professional wrestling that can do that with justice. And that's Samantha Irvin. And last time I checked, we don't have the budget to accommodate Samantha Irvin for.
I will be the honorary commentator introductor.
Oh, you want to know what? I'm gonna do that. I need a sound bite from Samantha Irvin. I wonder if I reach out and send her a little. Hey, do you mind? We're big wrestling fans. Do you mind just giving us this sound bite that I can use?
Just have her sign off on using her likeness and everything.
Yeah. I don't know how that works for WWE.
I mean, we could try. We just can't come off creepy as hell. That's all.
Oh no.
I'm just saying. I'm assuming that as a great personality she probably gets like a shit ton of like messages from fans and all types of things.
That is probably true. You just got to show her the podcast. That's all you got to do.
Can we show some respect to the King and Queen of the Ring as we're getting into these subjects, please?
What do you think I was just referencing to?
All right, we were cut off by Brian, which is not usually in his character this week, but he decided to derail our first segment. So blame Brian for this late intro.
Do you see the shirt? Do you see the shirt? I'm wearing the shirt of the Final Boss. This is the Final Boss's classic shirt. So yeah, so we're gonna get a little.
Brian bringing out his inner rock tonight. Apparently,
I thought I was the heel on the show. Apparently, Brian's gonna come with a vest next week, and a $500 vest.
As we were saying, I think like we all kind of predicted, we saw this happening. We saw Gunther becoming our King of the Ring. Finally bringing some prestige back to the King of the Ring after a very long time of it not really meaning anything. And for once, it comes with a title opportunity. As far as the match goes, great technical wrestling between both. You know, you got the up and comer, and in WWE, not in general in wrestling, because Gunther's probably been doing this for a very long time. But and then you got the veteran like Randy Orton. Still looks great in the ring, still does what he does. Still gets the crowd reaction. It is a little tricky how they, kind of didn't address the whole Randy shoulders not down situation. And it's funny enough because I remember watching the match and then seeing the roll up when he won. I was like, that shoulder's not down. For some reason,
I didn't catch it.
That happens, I'll usually like, oh, I didn't catch that. But for this one, I actually like caught it instantly. I was like, but you know what? It is what it is. I mean, it's not like it was for the title or anything, but this isn't something that Randy needs right now. Like we were kind of talking before, like, WWE's creating these new stars, and Gunther's been on fire for such a long time with everything he did with the IC title. It's just adding more momentum. And, his time might be coming sooner than later. I don't know. But, Randy did his thing. I think Randy's in a place where he's just like kind of there to boost new talent, or I've said this numerous times, I wouldn't mind Randy having another title reign before he retires. Hopefully it's not soon, but Randy's still one of those top figures in the company that's just been doing this for so long, and it's still great to see him out there and still doing after that injury and that surgery and everything. So but congrats to Gunther.
Just to echo Lewis's sentiments, yeah, definitely was a decision that we all predicted for Gunther becoming King of the Ring. As far as the match itself, I think Corey Graves has said on commentary that as far as in-ring technicians go, that Gunther and Randy are the best of the best right now within the company, and you definitely saw that within this match. I mean, you saw it was a very like slow pace, but it was methodical. I mean, they utilized a lot of psychology. I mean, if you want to be a professional wrestler, I mean, they always say that like less is more, and watching a match like this, kind of gives you like the fundamental tools if you are trying to become an aspiring wrestler. Because if you, like I said, it was slow pace. Wasn't anything crazy as the matches we're going to talk about later in the show and such on the other companies. But it was great, slow paced. I didn't actually see his shoulder up until the replay. I thought it was very interesting. Maybe this is something that they go back to like way down the line. I definitely wouldn't mind seeing a Gunther and Randy program, but congrats to Gunther, being the King General, and with his promo on Monday Night Raw against Damian Priest when he was talking about how like since he's been on the main roster, he's been waiting for somebody to kind of like step up and kind of like show him something different and teach him, because he's been that dominant. And with him and just the look with him with the suit and him holding the crown, you could just tell that like, yeah, this is what they envisioned when they brought back King of the Ring for probably he was the first guy they were thinking of as the winner. Now going over to Randy, like Lewis, I'm dying for another Randy Orton title run in myself. That he's definitely going to have a great program with Cody. I don't know when. I don't know how Rock and Roman factor in, but eventually when they get to that program, there is so much history and so much story they can tell, and especially with the way that their production is right now. I mean, they'll be able to make a mini movie out of that story. So definitely something to look forward to. But as Lewis said, congrats to Gunther.
This was a very physical match, and that was one of the concerns that I had coming in, because I was like, we haven't seen these guys really wrestle each other. How is Randy going to take this physical toll? And it looked like he got his ass kicked in that match, as he had to be helped out by officials walking out. I thought the match was great. Everything that I expected from this match. We all picked Gunther to win. We all thought Randy was going to advance and thought Gunther would win. I just thought it was a highly intense match, and again, you can't get a bad match out of Gunther, and to see him and Randy actually pair off was great to see that, because it's contrasting styles, it's contrasting eras, if you want to say that as well. And it's just basically, I thought it was a passing of the torch moment, but it looks like this is going to continue, of course, with the shoulder up. If that's the case, I'm fine with that. If we get another match like this, this is awesome. And I like the way that Triple H actually addressed this, actually better than they would have in the past, where they would just completely ignore it and have it as a cliffhanger. Maybe this is a part of the storytelling and the booking. I think it's great because now you set up either for Money in the Bank or SummerSlam or whatever the case may be, whatever this leads to, because obviously he also acknowledged that they're both on separate brands. It has to figure out a way to have this match again. They're actually going to try to do it. So, and I think that's something that's great because as Brian has been saying for over the past couple of years, since we started this podcast, things matter, matches matter, impact matters when there's stakes on the line. Mm-hmm. Both of these guys have the opportunity to get a respected championship match at SummerSlam. That is the winner of the King and Queen of the Ring. That's what it is. Now, the fact that there's some controversy, and they've said that they've been saying that Gunther hasn't even put the crown on his head. I don't think he's going to do that, but it's kind of acknowledgement, hey, I still got to go beat Randy Orton. So hopefully this continues and Randy's healthy. Hopefully he wasn't banged up. Hopefully that's just part of the storyline. It was just a physical match, but I really like the match between these two, and I think there's a lot of story to tell between these two because now it's Randy trying to hold off the new guard of Gunther, this dominant reign of this guy who has been killing everyone literally in the ring, besides Sami Zayn, but literally killing everybody in this since he's been called up to the main roster, and it's just incredible to see and see Randy still hang with him. That's definitely a story that basically writes itself. Hopefully they can continue that, and even when Gunther with his promo on Raw, of course we saw everybody come out, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, and even Braun Strowman. So definitely some players in play there, some shuffling of the deck there in the world title picture, but Gunther should be in that title picture, which we all agree on. So congratulations to Gunther for being the King of the Ring. It was an awesome match, awesome show. But let's move on. Let's get into the Queen of the Ring, who we also predicted who was winning. Nia Jax in an intense match against Lyra Valkyria. I thought this is what I wanted to see from Nia Jax. Like ever since she's been coming back, I wanted her to have a prominent role. She has had that. Have an impact. She has had that. And that match basically cemented Nia Jax's run so far as a success. Whatever they do with her going forward, this match was great. What are your guys' thoughts on the match of Nia Jax becoming the Queen of the Ring?
Gentlemen, gear up because by SummerSlam we are going to be starting Nia's dominant reign for the rest of the year because I'm seeing it now with her winning Queen of the Ring. She's going to SummerSlam to face Bayley, and then her dominant title run as the top heel on SmackDown is going to begin. I definitely see that.
Are you saying Bayley, the babyface, is going to lose to Nia Jax at SummerSlam? Is that what you're saying, Brian?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's how confident I am. I'm putting it out there.
Why are you so against this, Dan? Are you the heel?
No, I'm not. It's not that I'm against it. It's just that if you want to build a top heel, get your top heel in the women's division on SmackDown, because SmackDown does have their fair share of baby faces. You got Bayley, you got Bianca, you got Jade, you got plenty of baby faces to throw at Nia for some interesting.
Bayley
stories.
just won the title
at Mania.
Yeah,
that's a month ago, Lewis. That's a month ago.
Was it?
Yes.
It was a month. It was a couple months.
Hey,
ago.
it's about to be June.
Yeah, exactly. SummerSlam is not till August. She'll have another month or 2 months or whatever it is. Have some time.
I don't think it should end at SummerSlam.
I just think with Nia. All right, get into the match itself. Man, I felt so bad for Lyra Valkyria after that finish, man.
I loved it because that was a great finish.
No, it was great. I just felt bad for her after to take that spot, to take it. Literally, I'm not gonna speculate how much Nia weighs, but all that weight on your chest, like I can only imagine. I mean, I hope and pray they gave her a bonus or something for taking that because they had because even I was like, jeez.
Nia Jax gave her a bonus in her check at the end of the night.
Exactly, and then the fact that
thanks kid
a
for
day
taking
later,
that
and then a day later she had a match on Raw. I was like, Jesus.
No, that was I loved the whole setup of how she's trying to like powerbomb her, and then she couldn't, and then she just it was a great finish. I like we've been talking about just dominance and how endings need to happen. That was a great ending. That was a great ending.
The crazy thing with her taking that move, if you like watch that clip back, you would think in like just a move like that, would like either just take the wind out of you or you'd be like or something like that. If you watch that replay, she literally comes down on her and Lyra's just like, and I was like, yo, how do you not get any type of like reaction from something like that? Because that wasn't her normal, like she comes up and comes down. That was like
yeah.
And then bow, and it was just like
that was JR.
Like,
my God, she's killed him. She's killed him. He is broken in half.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of second Brian's motion. Part of me wants it to happen at SummerSlam, but I like Daniel just said, are we in the era of title reigns actually ending shortly anymore? That I feel like that isn't something we've seen happen in WWE currently.
So is 4 or 5 months a short reign? That's enough.
We haven't seen it though.
4 months. We're 3 months, 4 months away from SummerSlam.
Yeah. But we haven't seen any short title reigns happen yet. Like not lately, in the tag division.
Lately.
Yeah, exactly. So is that something? But it's like with this I think it depends on how they play with the momentum with Nia. Moving forward, like is she just gonna continue dominating? If they start giving her kind of like the Gunther treatment, but and she's like taking everybody out, then how can you stop that? But I don't know. I feel like Bayley, she got the win. She got the win at Mania, but it's just like I think she needs some top feuds to kind of give her.
That's what I want from.
Yeah, I think she needs.
Maybe this can be the feud, right? Kind of like what I always think about Shawn Michaels versus Vader. What that was supposed to be.
This could be more than just like a one-off. I feel like this could be like a 2-3 parter.
And they have history. I mean, they faced off against each other at NXT. Matter of fact, at NXT London, the first NXT they did overseas, so they already they have that experience with each other. So it'll be a good match. But I'm just looking at the way that they're booking Nia, and I'm thinking about all of their women that are on SmackDown, and I'm just thinking, I mean, you have a lot of, I mean, there are a lot of babyface women. I know they have Tiffany Stratton and the others, but like I said, you got Bayley, you got Jade, you got Bianca, you got Naomi.
I mean, but they're in a tag team right now. They're not really going after the.
In due time. It's not coming now, but in time.
With that, not to go off sidetrack too much. With that tag team, I wonder if they'll go the whole, either Jade turning on Bianca type thing.
There's going to be a point in time.
Just because I feel like Jade is a natural heel. I don't know. I
she really is. Like I'm watching her right now, and I'm like, yo, she's a heel right now. Even being a baby face, I'm like, yo, she's definitely
even with her daughter in the crowd.
Even with her daughter, no, she was doing that same
sucks.
She was doing that same shit in AEW. With her daughter in the crowd.
There's a lot of directions they can go. They can go both Bianca and Jade in a triple threat for the title. Like they can play that angle, like, hey, we want to go after the title. They have done that in the past with the men, essentially with the tag team champion. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did some sort of variation of that, and maybe that causes the friction going forward. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where they go with Nia Jax. I can't wait to see what they do with her because it feels like she needs to be rewarded, right? Like her work since she's been back has been incredible. She's been awesome in the ring. She's putting on great matches, and just looks great out there. So it definitely looks like it's going to pay off at some point. But she has her match set up at SummerSlam. Let's continue to move on. Liv Morgan is the new Women's World Champion, defeating Becky Lynch. Another prediction some of us made. 2 out of 3. What do you guys think about this match? What do you guys think about Liv Morgan becoming the new Women's World Champion with the help of hook or by crook, Dom Mysterio?
As soon as he ran out, I was like, fuck, my prediction's done. Yep. Yep. I thought there was a chance. that things might swing in my direction. But then as soon as Dom ran out, I'm like, yep, some bullshit. But everything that happened as far as the finish goes in a storyline perspective, that went very well. I mean, Don unintentionally getting himself involved. But before that, as far as the match went itself, it was another very, very good match between the two. They do have a very good chemistry with one another. I know one thing that we haven't mentioned as much as we talk about like Liv and her mic work. In ring wise, that is definitely a place where she does stand out, and she hasn't like improved in the years. I know Daniel's mentioned it. A couple of times, but
when I say it, it's met with vitriol and hate and disgust.
I'm sorry, this all happened before the sprinklings of the Dom Liv backstage action. All right,
I said it's
and this was all before Becky even had the title. This is when Rhea was still champ, but we were all like, come on. Is Liv really going to beat Rhea? Like, come on, that's not
by happening. Hook or by crook, Lewis. By hook or by crook. This is what
you don't act like you knew this was going to happen, all right? You didn't. Don't even. There was no way. If Rhea was still champ, she would not have lost to Liv.
Hey, there's ways that they can book it.
We don't know that for sure. We don't know that for sure.
I would bet money on that. I think this injury was probably the best thing that happened to Liv because it just created a full-blown story just for her. And it's giving her this like conniving. It elevated her revenge tour from just going like, oh, I'm gonna get you back to now like
who caused the injury?
I know that. That's what I just said.
But I'm saying that was the story they were going with. At some variation.
She's actually injured though.
Now she's in. Yeah, she got taken out. Yeah.
I know, but we don't know if that was the actual story they were going to go with to have
Liv Morgan was going to try to take. Liv Morgan was going to try to take
the title.
No, Liv was going to try to take the title, but by getting to Dom, that's how she was going to do it. And I think that they just continued the story with Becky because you can continue because now she. I think that was that just happened, and they had to audible. But I think that story was going to be told anyway. Maybe Liv would have lost again, but eventually she was going to win the title.
I think she would have lost. Because what's helping is with Rhea off of TV, it makes all the sneaking with Dom amplified because she's not there.
What are you doing?
Blah, blah, blah. That's why I'm saying that this injury elevated her revenge tour because it's like, look, took her out. Now she's taking a man. Now she has her title. It's like I said this a couple weeks ago. I'm like, this whole story is like perfectly set up for all that, and it's working well. Which is why she was my prediction.
I was the one that when Rhea was officially hurt, I was the one that said they got a little story now with Liv and Rhea, and one of us up here thought the shits of it, Daniel. When I said they got a little story now, and now we're getting that story, and now the story actually makes sense.
After all his so-called support for Liz,
that makes sense.
All his so-called support for her.
Point in time, that was before the draft. That was before the draft.
Now it's what if.
I wanted Nia Jackson. I wanted Nia Jax in that spot, and then the draft happened. Okay, so I had to, just like WWE has to audible sometimes. I have to audible sometimes too, guys.
Daniel just pivoted.
I know it's foreign to you guys. I know it's foreign to you guys.
But all right. So we know Liv moving forward. I mean, on Raw they had the steel cage match, which Dom got involved in again. A lot of run-ins with Braun Strowman in the Judgment Day. Then Becky loses.
Literally running around the ring. Running around the ring.
Yeah. I mean, I was
like, what is this? Vince Russo? Like, what is this?
Really bodying everybody in this. But as far as Becky goes, I mean, now I guess apparently now she's probably going to go on that break that she was going to take after WrestleMania, that she had to cut short because Rhea got hurt. Good for her. Go rest, recuperate. Be a great mom. Go hang with Seth, and then come back. And then eventually, when she comes back, it'll be same old with Becky Becky Lynch as a top star. But before moving forward, as far as Liv goes, I think we all saw on social media what they couldn't show on Raw because they ran out of time.
It was too X-rated, Brian.
Yeah,
it's too X-rated. It's too X-rated, Brian.
Yeah. It was a lot of sex celebration, but the kiss scene around the world, which apparently is getting high social media numbers. Of
course,
but.
It's literally the cover page on their Twitter account now, which is I'm like, that's crazy.
I didn't even know that.
It's not like a pin video. It's literally the cover page on Twitter.
You know what's the funny thing is that I like that what they referenced, and Damian said it. He was like, what the hell is Dom doing going all the way to Saudi Arabia to supposedly make sure she doesn't win the title, and he screws it up. I like how they're like, we weren't even in Saudi Arabia, and
you went all the way over there to prevent someone from winning the title,
and then you helped them win,
and then you failed. Like, damn, all that mileage for nothing. Shit.
Yeah. But this is a good match. I think that the story, this is one story that's like we were just discussing, has just been elevated, and there's a lot of dimensions, and it's going to be interesting to see how they move forward. Is this something that has been going on? And I would like to mention that on they did also show on Raw that Liv was also talking to JD backstage as well. So like I said, this could be her moving into the Judgment Day, trying to, start recruiting. I don't know. As far as Judgment Day is going right now, I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know why they keep throwing like, oh, JD, go handle Braun Strowman. Like, come on, you can't be that naive.
JD has to start speaking up for himself. I would have been like, can we jump Braun Strowman?
That's what I'm saying.
This is a one-on-one affair.
Can we operate as a unit for once, please? Thank you.
But
Judgment Day, I think they're just trying to throw as many confusing elements, because now you have the Braun Strowman element of it. You got Damian Priest dealing with Gunther, potentially Drew McIntyre, with who he's going to face in Clash at the Castle in Scotland. Was that June 15th? So that's in a couple of weeks. He's dealing with that. He's dealing with Dom and Liv Morgan situation. So I think they're just trying to throw everything at the Judgment Day right now to create their dissension eventually.
Yeah, and then you see the subtle hints that he's throwing at Finn, like, dude, you're not doing what you got to do, like being like, bro,
Finn's throwing hits at Dom. They're all throwing hits at each other. It's going to start just being a Judgment Day fiasco. Hey, maybe a fatal four-way for the title.
What?
Hey, WWE, if you're listening, just do it the Judgment Day fatal four-way at what's the one in July? I can't remember the event in July, but just do it in July. Just do the fatal four-way.
July is Money in the Bank, I think.
No, isn't it thing in Berlin? Bash in Berlin?
Oh, that's August, I think.
I thought SummerSlam was it.
Yeah, I think Bash in Berlin is after SummerSlam, isn't it? Or is it before?
When is SummerSlam? I thought SummerSlam was July or August, or I don't know. There's a lot of PLEs, man.
Low key, it is.
You got Clash at the Castle, you got SummerSlam, you got Bash in Berlin, and then Money in the Bank. I thought Money in the Bank was more
Money in the
fall.
Oh yeah, so all right, so SummerSlam is on August 3rd, and then Bash in Berlin is after. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
On August 31st. Yeah, so Bash in Berlin is after. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's Clash at the Castle.
So Money in the Bank is in July 6th.
When is
do that Money in the Bank? There we go. July 6th.
Yeah, July.
So that's when they need to do it. Just do the Fatal 4-Way Judgment Day. Have Liv Morgan help Dom win the title, and then you have the person cash in on him. That way, we elevate Dominic Mysterio, who was the hardest worker last year, and get him into the main event. That's all we need to do. But no, Liv Morgan is the new world.
It's hilarious how
go ahead.
It's hilarious how we went from. It's just like he's transforming into full Latino Eddie. First, it's the mullet. Now he's got the mustache. Now he's got the girls. It's just like it's not even Ray's son anymore. It's literally Eddie's son.
This is something that has been great. This is what's been great with his heel turn, and something that has organically happened. Somebody who's organically a heel.
Yeah.
Like he's carved out his own name. Like you don't even think you're on the same brand. You don't even think of Rey Mysterio, even though they're still Judgment Day is now getting involved with the LWO to some capacity. But you don't even think of Dom and Rey. You think of them as their own entities now. And that's all you could have wanted if you're Dom. That's all you could have wanted.
And at first I thought the whole like prison thing was like pretty stupid, but it like somehow morphed into something that worked out well, and I think including with the whole Judgment Day thing,
because it gave him his own identity.
Yeah.
Whereas he was just known as Ray's son. You knew Finn was the demon, the prince. You knew Damian Priest as this party goer or dominatrix, whatever you want to call it.
Rocker, dominatrix.
Is he a rocker? I don't know what he is. He looks like a dominatrix. That's what he looks like to me. He looks like Demolition or something. Like his outfits are crazy. But
man.
But it gave Dom his own identity with that stupid, and Michael Cole hating him added to it. Like everything added to Dominic Mysterio.
Someone needs to smack that punk.
Well, yeah, I don't know if you guys saw on WWE's Instagram page, but they actually showed like when they went off the air and Michael Cole and Pat McAfee were walking to the back. Michael Cole actually walked past Dominic and actually like said some shit to him, and it was hilarious.
They get real live heat. That's what it is. Real live heat. They hate each other.
Imagine he's just giving them compliments. You're doing great.
At some point, Dominic Mysterio has to acknowledge Michael Cole.
Oh yes, I can't wait to the last commentary day. That's like the whole him and Bailey thing. It was just you're just shouting at him, and then you finally put him on commentary. It's like
at some point they just need to do a little banter back and forth.
Yeah.
But yeah. Liv Morgan is the new Women's World Champion. It's going to be interesting to see what direction they go with her. She's been winning by hook or by crook, and hopefully it continues. We'll see where it goes going forward. Let's get into Sami Zayn retaining his Intercontinental Championship against Chad Gable and Bronson Reed. I thought this was a great match. What do you guys think about this matchup and Sami retaining?
Oh man, this was a very good match. I mean, it was hard hitting. I mean, there was a lot of like spots in between.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, how many like 3-man combination moves did we see in this match between the three? I mean, the mixing of styles. I mean, that you got Big Bronson Reed with his strength, then you got the technical ability of Chad Gable, and then you got
size difference between all three men.
And that as well, which actually played a huge role. And then you had the little story with Alpha Academy and Otis. Which, I mean, if things are continuing to trend in the direction that they are, I mean, it looks like Otis is going to be a big baby face again because the crowd is getting behind him again to finally drop Chad Gable, and eventually when he does and he gets that baby face pop, I mean,
whoa. Chad Gable's going to drop him, okay?
No, he's not. That's his guy.
Whether Chad Gable drops him or he drops Chad Gable, people are still going to be behind Otis regardless.
They should be, but let's make sure we know what the pecking order is in the Alpha Academy, okay?
I mean, Chad Gable's still going to be that annoying perk angle like heel, so he'll be all right. But this was a good match. You know, I know I love the finish. I like that. I mean, I kind of understand why Bronson Reed got pinned because you kind of want to continue the story with Sammy and Chad, but at the same time, it's like Bronson Reed. You kind of want him to take that next step. You kind of want him to win that mid card title. So it's unfortunate that he got pinned, but I don't necessarily think it's going to hurt him. I still think they value him because he does have a lot of upside. So I don't think this is something where it's like we're never going to see him in the Intercontinental title picture again. He'll definitely get back there. But this was a very good match. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, same. The spots were definitely a huge highlight. The like triple German suplexes at the same time, and then double freaking ankle locks and all this stuff. Like,
yeah.
You know, it was just a lot of good stuff in the match, and you always get that with triple threats. I think just the tough part is like, well, I mean, I think the good factors was obviously. It let a lot of space for the whole Otis thing to play out as well, instead of just like the one-on-one. So it's like, plus you get to highlight more of these guys. You know, they've been doing this kind of segment for like, you know, even before WrestleMania. You know, like Chad's been on the hunt for the IC title. Bronson Reed's been on the hunt for the IC title. I definitely think Sammy should drop it. To one of them. I don't know about Chad. If I'm not really loving this whole heel turn.
Oh, you're not?
It's not the heel turn I wanted.
This is the best character work he's done since I don't know when.
Is it? Okay, but think about it, because remember,
way better than Shorty G.
Don't even bring that up. If you think about it, when him and Otis got together. Because remember, him and Otis were heels at one point, kind of in the early beginnings when they won the tag titles. Yeah. They were. And I feel like that's when there was like a serious Otis that was taking people out. Like, this is my guy. Look, you got to face him. And they were taking people out. Mm-hmm. With this thing, I feel like it should have brought that element a little bit back. Like I said, I wanted a pissed off Chad Gable that was just like, I'm going to start wrecking people, and Otis, you need to start helping me, blah, 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 blah. But the only thing that I didn't like, especially with this thing on Monday, like really he was about to beat him with a belt. And they even said it on commentary. It's how outdated is this type of punishment? And I'm like,
hey, Stone Cold did it to Taz.
In the 90s.
It's not that far.
In the 90s.
2001.
Yeah,
wow. You're going to argue over one?
Hey, that matters. Early 2000s.
No, but I like the direction they're going with Chad Gable, because they're showing him not willing to take responsibility for his loss. That's the one thing, because he's been blaming Alpha Academy. He's been blaming Otis in particular. He's been trying to get Otis to help him cheat, et cetera, et cetera. I think it's just adding to his character. I think what we want to see is him get with Alpha Academy, with the Creed brothers, who lost on Monday night. Which
they haven't really been alluding to that at all yet. You know,
they need to do it. They need to whatever needs to make it happen. They need to do it.
No. Eventually, when he gets tired of the three of them, he's gonna bring out the Creed brothers and Ivy, and then those three are gonna take out Otis, Tozawa, and Maxine, and then there's your new Alpha Academy. At least
that's what I mean.
And then they can have their.
Yeah, and then Ivy now have their 3-on-3 again. Because,
they can have their 3-on-3 intergender match at Money in the Bank.
But this is
I think Money in the Bank is where they're going to see the split, hopefully. But I like heel Chad Gable. We're getting a lot more mic work.
I want the heel Chad, but I don't know. He's venturing to very annoying heel that doesn't look like the heel that's actually going to get the title. If that makes sense. I don't know. It's like that's just like the heel that he's going to keep losing, but he's still a heel. It's like he doesn't come off as a legitimate contender to win the title. That's why I was like hesitant to even pick him in the triple threat, because I was just like, he's being a giant dick and he's being a heel, but it's not like the heel that's like, if Otis was fully on board and being like, all right, then maybe I would have been like, okay.
Well, that's what he's trying to do, Lewis. He's trying to get Lewis.
Now it's another story though. It's another story now, and because now you create, it's all about Otis now. It's not really about him. It's just him being a dick, and now it's just like, well, now Otis becoming this big star.
I mean, it can be both though, right? Because it is. I mean, Otis is a part of the story, but it is overall. It is about Chad Gable and how we got. If you look at how we even got to this character of training Sami Zayn, Sami taking his spot at WrestleMania, and now he's resentful, and now he wants it all. So I mean, Otis is a part of that. I mean, just like Maxine, unfortunately, is a part of it, and just like Tozawa was a part of it. So I don't think it'll be essentially about Otis. And the moment it starts becoming about Otis, that's when you bring the Creed brothers and Ivy in, and then make it about Chad again. So
yeah, we'll see.
And you create a new babyface. Everybody wins, Lewis. Come on.
But I think Otis will be more respected this time around as a baby. Otis will be more respected this time around as a babyface than whatever the hell that they did during the pandemic when he won Money in the Bank.
Well, he should. Well,
that was a blown opportunity. I think.
What was his tag team partner's name? Tractor.
No.
What's the dude's name? I know the name of the team was Heavy Machinery, but I think it's the other dude's name.
It was Tucker.
It was Tucker. Yeah, it was
Who?
Tucker.
Who?
Okay, New Day.
It was Tucker. It was Tucker.
That was bad. That was a misstep. But I hopefully, when Otis becomes a babyface, Maxine and Tozawa help him become Intercontinental Champion, or keep him in that mid card or whatever elevation is, because I like the comedy act together with them, but have Otis be the guy that's the muscle, the power. Have him do that. I'm fine with that. But whatever we get out of this, I hope it's just beneficial for Chad, and hopefully the Creed brothers coming in, and we get a little bit lost more people in the mid card scene, right? Because now you potentially have Otis in the mid card scene with Sammy, Chad, Bronson Reed, and they can continue their four-man tandem until whatever Braun Breaker comes in and destroys everybody. But Sami Zayn retaining felt like it was the right move to continue this reign, especially after defeating Gunther. But let's continue to move on to our main event of the night. We had Cody Rhodes retaining his undisputed title against Logan Paul. What do you guys think about this match? What do you guys think about the brass knuckles being in play? What do you guys think of this?
I mean, I kind of like how they incorporated the brass knuckles and tried to make it a central part of the match in the story. I think they had a press conference during the week where Logan Paul gave the brass knuckles to Michael Cole and said he wasn't going to use them. Then they had the segment on SmackDown where the referee checked Logan Paul and he had the brass knuckles on them, talking about the not my pants and my brother's pants, which was funny. But I like how they incorporated that and tried to at least give this match like some sort of a story, because I know we've all been kind of like critical of how like the match came together, but we understand the business perspective of it. In ring wise, it was what we expected. I mean, we saw the athleticism of Cody Rhodes mixed with the in ring technical work of Cody Rhodes.
What was the move he did? The vertebreaker, whatever that.
Oh yeah, Cody. Oh yeah, so yeah, he did the banned move, move that's been banned for the longest time, the vertebreaker. But the crazy, but I actually saw online the crazy thing about that. So the agent of that match was Hurricane Helms. Hurricane was actually known for doing that move, I think, in WCW. So that's the reason why I think the reason why they used this. And Hurricane himself said on Twitter that it was the perfect technique and that Logan was safe. But
Okay.
yeah. But moving on with the match, one funny part I liked about the match was the interaction between Logan Paul and Michael Cole. When Logan Paul was trying to get the brass knucks, and I got to a point where Logan tried to attack Michael Cole, and Corey Graves had to get in between.
Yeah,
so I know we talked about Michael Cole and Dominic, but we might actually think of Logan Paul and maybe Pat McAfee defending Michael in place of Michael Cole, because that was
Are you alluding to Pat McAfee getting a United States title match against Logan Paul?
No, definitely not for the United States title, but definitely down. But hell, as a maybe down the line as an attraction match at a WrestleMania or something, probably.
Hey, we know Pat McAfee.
They are going to Cleveland.
No, come on.
Cleveland, Ohio.
No. Nah, I don't know.
That's close to Indiana. Why not?
But this was a good match. One moment in that match that I loved when Logan Paul did the frog splash through Cody through the table. Yo, that camera work, that camera shot of him on the top turnbuckle and how they kept like circling him before he did the move. I mean, that was just.
Is that a drone? Is that a drone or is that a camera?
It had to be a drone or some camera on the stick. So whatever it was, that was a beautiful camera shot.
That's
and then when he hit it, like he hits that frog splash clean every single time through the table. No matter who's there, he always hits their chest directly. So that was nice. Man, but other than that, this was a very, very good match. Very good match. Was what we expected. I mean, I know wasn't a match that we necessarily wanted, but like I said, we understand the business standpoint of it. But it was a very good match.
Yeah, no, same. These matches are always entertaining with Logan Paul, even though we kind of already know the finish.
It's a showcase match.
Yeah, it's a showcase match. Yeah, it's just
that's how I felt about it.
highlight Logan's skill in the ring. It did what it was supposed to do. Makes Cody a bigger baby face. You get the giant crowd reaction. You show what Logan can do, which obviously, like spots like that, like this frog splash, and then him even doing the buckshot lariat. Whatever. Like, it's just showing how great he is in the ring. It's just funny how he kind of does the same thing every time. He always has people right there at ringside, whether it's that other dude in the prime suit or his boys from his podcast there. But it's like he always has somebody right there ringside to help him out with it's either the brass knuckles or to cause a distraction or something like that. So I don't know. I feel like it's getting a little predictable. In those senses, but it's just
for him, I accept it because, like you said, he has the podcast, he has the YouTube success, so he's known to always have like that entourage with him. Yeah. I mean, whenever his brother has fights, he's always there with his brother and the same people. So in that case, because it's kind of like part of his life, I can accept all the run-ins from people because it's just like, yeah, that's Logan Paul.
He's a heel.
Yeah, but it's like every time it's the same. It's been kind of at least the last all of his matches.
He's supposed to cheat.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying it's in the same manner. Give me something new.
They had the Saudi Arabia comedian out there. I forgot his name. Forgive me.
The announcer dude.
They had him out there. Yeah, he got involved. I like that. And then Logan Paul going, "Who are you?" I thought that was a nice touch because Logan Paul wouldn't know who he is. But the only critique I have of the match is when Cody Rhodes finishes off his opponent. The crossroads being done 3 times every time. I don't like that. You beat Roman Reigns with that. Like, you don't need to do it in succession against Logan Paul. They need to save that move, or he's going to have to come up with something different. Because it's like, I don't want that move to lose value if that's his finish. But him doing it so much to Logan Paul, it's like, we gotta
I get what you're saying. In a sense, you kind of have to. I get what you're saying. In a sense, you kind of have to protect the world title win at WrestleMania in a sense by protecting the move. So yeah, I kind of
especially just protecting the move. That's all I want. But no, as we said, it was a showcase match. Two great guys that can go in the ring. Logan Paul, impressive all the time. It looks like he does do the same thing every time, but it's impressive every time. Until he gets stale, maybe because he doesn't wrestle week to week. Maybe that's the thing, the allure of him, where he kind of comes in like once a month or twice a month and puts on a match. But I just thought it was a good match, good solid match. Got Cody over, got Logan Paul more angst. And I thought it was a good way to end the show. I would have rather had the King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring be the main events at the show if we're going to have that. But overall, I thought it was a good show. I thought they did very well. They always do a good show now in Saudi Arabia. Of course, which I believe was not always the case. They started getting better, but I just remember the Goldberg matches and the DX versus Undertaker and Kane match. Those are the things that stand out.
It's funny. No, because I was actually listening to Eric Bischoff earlier, and he was talking about when he worked as an executive for WWE for that little time period in like 2019, and he talked about having to like book these Saudi shows because it was a live reaction show he was doing to King and Queen of the Ring, and he talked about how frustrating it was because it was like you were booking for like three separate people. You had to book for the storylines that were going on TV, then you had to book for the people in Saudi Arabia because they wanted like special like big time matches and wanted like John Cena, Triple H, all these like legends to come in, and then obviously you got Vince McMahon at the time with what he wants. So it's almost like you're booking. He had to book that show with like three different people in mind, and it was always the hardest thing to do.
Crazy.
Thank God everybody's on board now. That's all I'm gonna say. But no, I thought it was a good King and Queen of the Ring. We got our predictions mostly right. We got the right people winning, I think, as well. With Gunther and Nia Jax moving forward as they've been dominant. Interesting, two heels winning that moniker this year. So that was interesting as well. But I thought it was a good show. But now let's move on to the wackiness, the craziness, the insane double or nothing.
Wackiness. Is it that wacky?
I'm sorry. A person had a flamethrower on a stage.
WWE has had a ring of fire.
That is regular. That is something normal.
Did you just hear the words that came out of your mouth? That's regular.
An Inferno match. An Inferno match. Usually containing Undertaker or Kane. So let's just. I don't think there's been
a character like Bray Wyatt. Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm. So those three guys have been in those type of matches. We've had Hulk Hogan throw the flame ball in Ultimate Warrior's face in Halloween Havoc 98. We also had Yokozuna do it in 93 at King of the Ring, I believe. But a flamethrower, Anarchy in the Arena match, FTR, Darby Allin, Bryan Danielson versus the Young Bucks, Okada, Jack Perry. I'll let you guys lead the charge on here because I just saw highlights and I'm like, this shit is crazy.
that's the perfect way to describe it, Daniel. This shit was crazy. That's what we saw. That match was just the next level. I mean, there are so many spots that we could talk about how crazy and wacky it was. But my one critique of the match, and I'm not sure if AEW's production has gotten to that point yet. I just didn't like how they they switched so much in between the fights in between people. There was one point where they had like a quad camera shot when they had all the fights going on at once, but then they took that down and then they went back to the single shots. And it's just like, yo, you guys are missing key points that are gonna matter later on in the match. And a key point was with Darby and Jack Perry when Jack Perry randomly crashed that truck. I'm thinking, well, we didn't see Darby. Did Darby get out of the way? Was Darby even there initially? You literally just see the truck crashing, and then you have to assume, okay, he was trying to hit Darby and then he missed, but you didn't see it, so you didn't know. But then
What was that? What was that? What was it? Vince McMahon crashing his car. I couldn't find the clip anywhere. When Vince is driving the car and he's just yelling, "Ah!" I think it's Triple H. I can't remember, but that's what gave me flashbacks. It gave me flashbacks of that. It gave me flashbacks to Austin getting hit with the car. It gave me flashbacks to Kevin Owens getting hit with the golf cart. Like, hey, car now. Yeah. I'm just thinking.
But like that, but
great spot.
Whether it's Stadium Stampede, Anarchy in the Arena, man. I mean, it's AEW. It's just pretty much just a whole. But this isn't even organized chaos. I mean,
it's not
just the way the match started. but this was funny. The way the match even started when Darby Allin came out last and his music was playing for like the first 2 minutes. Then the Young Bucks cut them off and say, "Cut that crap off." Tell the production team to put on their music, their theme music. Then Bryan Danielson says, "Turn that shit off and play the greatest wrestling theme music of all time." And then they play the final countdown, which was Bryan Danielson's music in Ring of Honor. And I'm thinking, like, yo, Tony Khan does have billions, because I'm thinking, you know how much it probably cost to get that song, Final Countdown, because that is still a well-known song that's played at basketball games, at race events. I mean, so that was funny, but then we get to the infamous flamethrower. Now, Daniel, I will say this. Now you say that, you know, it has no place in wrestling, but I'm gonna just say this, and it's not gonna mean a lot to you. Darby did introduce the flamethrower on Dynamite the Wednesday prior. So if he introduced it then, we should have known that it was gonna factor into the match. Now, if he had introduced the flamethrower at Double or Nothing, then I would be like, okay, this is stupid. It makes no sense. Why is he introducing this now? But the fact that he introduced it on Dynamite,
finish.
It's like, okay. It's like, okay. All right. He had it on Dynamite, so he has it now. It makes sense.
First of all, we're in a match. This man's been getting his ass kicked all match, supposedly hit by a car. He finds enough strength to, first of all, put on a flamethrower. I don't know if you guys know how flamethrowers work. There's something that goes over your head, and you have to hold it. Then he has to wait for the guy to come out, and he put him on. This is insanity. Insanity.
But they were safe. Jack. Obviously the way they had planned it out. Obviously, Jack crashed the car to take him off TV. That way they could actually put all that gel on his body. That way the stunt was safe. Yeah. So they did do that, and they tried to make it safe. But I know what you're gonna say. It's not necessary. It wasn't needed. But do you think what happened to Darby at the very end was worth it? Because I'll even say, like, what they did to Darby in the end, that was a little.
I honestly thought that was worse. I thought that was worse.
To get hung upside down, have all the blood rush to your head, and then get super kicked by sneakers with thumbtacks in them. I know Darby
to do this.
I know Darby is a daredevil. I know. But like I said, Darby Allin is if Jeff Hardy and Mick Foley had a baby. So,
and you know what's funny? The thumbtacks on the sneaker is not a new thing. They've done this
they've done it before.
Yeah, they've done it before. So for me, and it's so funny backstory with this. So I was in New York this weekend, so I didn't get to watch everything as they were going on. So I had to try and stay off social media as much as I could. And of course I'm seeing AEW, somebody's on fire, and I'm not trying to see who it was or trying to see how it happened. All I saw was somebody getting lit on fire. So I was just like, all right, let's see who actually gets lit on fire. And it wasn't until I saw Jack Perry just doused in some jelly crap that I was like, oh, it's him. He's gonna get caught on fire. And then, but like Brian said, it felt like, well, at least in the beginning of the match, it felt like they were just experimenting with how to capture all this madness, because they're like, we got somebody over here, we got somebody over there, so let's go back and forth. And they're like, all right, let's just put them all on at the same time. And then they went back to single shot because they didn't do that again. So
I think they did that at All In.
At Wembley? But they never did the 4 screens before. They did this section. That's Claudio's over here, Mox is over here, or Danielson's over here, or the Young Bucks over here. So it was like that. But this time I felt like they were just experimenting, and they were like, just try and get what you can.
And that's what they should do. That's the one thing that I've been always saying. Their production has to be a little better. And if they can find a way to kind of try to give everybody to see what's going on, I'm fine with that. I think that's cool.
I got one more thing I gotta talk about. Okay, what happened to Dax? I think it was Dax. Yeah, that guy. He got hit with the exploding chair. All right,
that was crazy.
That made no sense to me because I was just like, okay, first of all, where the fuck did this chair come from? I mean, how do we know it was going to explode? I'm like, they didn't chew
that
us
was
up.
a random thing that came out. And I was like, oh shit!
I see sparks fly everywhere.
It's the video game. It's the fight. It's the fight forever video game. Anything at your disposal. It's got to be in the video game.
I'm like, I just seen the sparks, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, but I mean, the match was what it was. I mean, if you're a fan of that hardcore style, I mean, it was a great match for you. I mean, the wrestling purists obviously frown upon it, but I mean,
I'm not a purist. I've seen Cactus Jack. I've seen Mick Foley. I've seen guys in WWE, even WCW, do hardcore things, do extreme things. But certain shit is just crazy. What they're doing in AEW is crazy. It works for them. It's whatever. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Some of it is entertaining, not gonna lie. But man, oh man.
Yeah.
Those guys are trying to earn their check. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Those guys are trying to earn their check.
Yeah, no, they're earning that money with some of these risks that they take. And mind you, no one's holding a gun to their head and making them do this stuff. Or Tony Khan is not going up to him saying, "Hey, let's get a flamethrower." This is all shit that all the talent is doing coming up with on their own. So
yeah, I mean, absolutely, but I like driving, crashing the car, being put on fire, thumbtacks to the face, like.
Yeah, I know it
was
grotesque, but
I mean, it works for them. I mean, those guys are earning their checks and they're getting what they need to get done, man. So respect to those guys. I'm always going to respect those guys in the ring and what they do. Just pure insanity. But let's continue to move on. Swerve Strickland retaining his AEW World Championship against Christian. What can you tell me about that match going down? Swerve retaining.
Oh no, that was also a very, very good main event. You definitely saw how great of a heel that Christian Cage was in this match.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he had the patriarchy outside with him at the ring. So another critique I had about this show, it happened in this match, and it happened in the first match in the card with Will Ospreay and Roderick Strong. Yo, they make the referees out to be such fucking dumbasses. I swear to God. I mean, they make it so simple. I mean, you can literally have the referee in the corner, and you could do like 6 moves, and he doesn't see a goddamn thing. Like, and I know it's entertainment. We're supposed to kind of suspend our disbelief, when it comes to stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like, come on, be realistic. I mean, if the referee is distracted, one move in and out. I should not be in the ring pounding on somebody. Right there.
Doing my full repertoire of the moves I have and showcasing.
Exactly.
No, they have done that.
We get to Ospreay. When we get to Ospreay, Strong. I really talk about it. Yeah, but it was a good match. I mean, it was very Swerve was impressive as always. I mean, yeah, it was just a very good match. I mean, it was a good story told. I mean, eventually the patriarchy did. They all got banned from ringside, so Christian did end up being on his own. So there was a couple of false finishes to make you think that Christian might have a chance. But for the most part, it was a good match. Good program for Swerve. And I don't know if you guys saw. Matter of fact, Daniel, you saw. Lewis, you didn't see who Swerve's next opponent is going to be, which I think is hilarious. But well,
is it Will Ospreay?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, since we said it, yeah. The fact that he's the next opponent. I mean, like I said, Ospreay's taking it all. So, I mean,
literally just won the their Intercontinental title.
Won that title. Now he's getting the title.
Literally just won the AEW International Championship. Has a title defense this Saturday on Collision against Kyle O'Reilly. But now he's the number 1 contender to Swerve's world title. Yep. Ospreay taking it all.
Yeah.
He's the best wrestler in the world, right? Yeah.
I see people criticizing Ospreay all the time, and I'm like, I like his style. I don't know. I like the way he goes.
Ospreay's good. No, he is. He is top 5, top 3 wrestler in the world right now.
Yeah. A lot of people can't do what he does in the ring, and it's like I know, like obviously when he was younger, I think he was more acrobatic, more high flyer. Now that he's like put on more muscle, now he's like more hard hitting, getting much more technical and all that stuff. So I'm a big fan.
He has to change his style a little bit. That's all.
I kind of see with him and Swerve, I think they're both. See, that's why I'm like, I don't think they should have rushed into this match already. Like, give Swerve like anybody else. You could have had like Jay White come after him. You could have had.
I think there were slim pickings with Christian because I think they were looking for somebody and they said, "Hey, let's face him. Let's put him up against the best heel in the company right now."
Yeah, to establish him. Yeah,
you're not going to put him up against where's Adam Hangman Page?
I don't know.
Hangman is either, I think, well, storyline wise, he's suspended from that triple threat match that he had with Samoa Joe and Swerve, where he kept attacking the referees.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just thought that.
He's the opponent. He's the opponent that he needs to have
right
now.
But either he's actually injured or he's actually like serving a suspension. One or the other. One. He's either injured or something else, or he's taking a break. I
think that was the worry, right? Because when we saw him going up against Christian, it's like Christian is the best heel, but it's like, who do you have after that? Samoa Joe, he already defeated. Christian, he's recently just defeated. So it's like, who else is he going to face? So getting Will Ospreay, the hottest commodity coming into AEW, you set that up, I guess. But it's like, I don't know if they're going to have Swerve like try to go after the Elite or have the Elite try to go after him at some point or whatever the case may be, but I think it's a slow burn, and I think that something is going to impact both those guys from having a successful match, a decisive winner. Like somebody's going to storyline where Will Ospreay goes into his next storyline, and Swerve goes into his own storyline. I think that's what's going to cause that, so you protect both guys. But
I could have also seen like what's his name? Roderick Strong could have like gone after the title. You could have, like I was saying, you could have Jay White. I mean, I know he's doing his trios thing, but it's like there's other heels that you could incorporate it into for him. Just because I think Ospreay's hot right now, he's hot right now. That's like a 2 babyface versus babyface type thing. You could even throw Mox in there, but I mean, I get it. Everybody's involved in their own thing, but I think for the world title picture, I feel like there's other people you could have incorporated, but I don't know.
All right. Let's continue on with Mercedes Moné making her AEW debut in ring. What do you guys can tell me about that match and her and Willow going at each other? What do you guys can tell me about that match?
This is why.
Let me go first. Let me go first.
I was just gonna say.
This was not the reaction I was expecting.
No, so
that's all I'm saying.
No, because I was trying to get my words correct. That's why I
think I can comment what me and Brian I think is.
Go ahead.
The in-ring for this match I thought was great. Mercedes didn't show any ring rust, at least from what I saw. I thought she was great in the ring. I thought Willow was pulling out some great, offensive moves, doing her thing. I just think, I don't know. It felt like Mercedes was supposed to be the heel, and obviously Willow being the big baby face, but then you throw in this. So what? I mean, I don't know if you saw, but what happened was, Willow basically had Mercedes down for the win, or for the pin to get the 1, 2, 3. But at one point in the match, Stokely and what's her name?
Chris
Statlander basically kind of interfered inadvertently, causing the ref to be distracted, cause the ref not to do the count in time. And basically that led to basically Mercedes getting getting the win and win the title. And then at the end, they turn on Willow. It was just kind of, I think just that aspect, just kind of deterred from the actual match, at least for me.
The one question I had going into the match was, is she a heel or is she a face? They had to make that clear, and they didn't.
So this is what I'm saying.
No, time out. You guys don't think they made it clear when they had the contract signing that Mercedes was clearly the heel?
No, yeah, but look at what they're doing on Dynamite right now. She's celebrating, and then she's like, Willow took me to the limit, and I can't wait to now she's like playing kind of like the baby face role. So it's like, were you actually the heel, or
no? I just think that Willow got over as such a Willow got over so well as such a big baby face.
She hits a natural,
and on top of that, because Mercedes Moné's demeanor is kind of like a heel with the music, calling herself the CEO and all that stuff. Her demeanor is very heel-like, and Willow was already getting over as a big baby face, so they kind of had to pivot in that direction and Mercedes be the heel. Now that she's the champion and now Willow's in her program now with Chris Statlander, now they can go back to the original plan, which is what they kind of alluded to tonight. And they're having her do what she should have been doing as soon as she debuted, which is her strength, which is her in ring work. She had a match tonight on Dynamite against Sky Blue, which was also which was a good match, and showed how she, like Lewis said, she hasn't suffered from any ring rust. And it's funny because I actually looked at the promotional poster for this pay-per-view, and she was front and center, Mercedes. So it actually shows going into this show that this was kind of, in a way, was kind of a make or break for her. And I definitely think that she made the most of it. It was a very good match. And if moving forward, if she's going to be in ring more, that's what needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's the best thing for her. That the more matches she has, the more ring work, and she has to build up equity in AEW, right? So this is a good start for her. She got the win again. I just wanted to know if she was babyface or the heel. They were playing it like she was babyface, even though her actions were heel, getting put through the table, her whole persona, et cetera, speaks heel. But I kind of felt like, hey, is she the babyface in this? Is she the heel? Of course, Willow Nightingale is getting the shine as well. I hope they continue to showcase her. In the women's division, especially for a women's division that has been recently struggling outside of Toni Storm. Willow can be a big play in the women's division going forward. Hopefully they continue that. That's what I want to see for her. Let's continue with the other match here with Toni Storm versus Serena Deeb. What do you guys think about this match?
Honestly, I mean, this was the point during the show where I really was kind of like in and out, like I was half paying attention, but half paying attention. Realistically, the one thing I remember from this match though was the finish, the fucking storm driver from the top rope, the little top rope pile driver. I was just like, oh my god, I really hope that so nobody's hurt, that they practiced that and made sure that everybody was safe. Because I'm thinking, please don't tell me Serena Deeb has a broken neck or something like that. That's how vicious it looked. And then she picked her up and then hit her with the regular one right after. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, Toni Storm. But throughout the match, you still got your typical from Toni Storm, with the Luther getting involved, and her character work is just magnificent. There's nothing much we can say about that, man. She is AEW's women's division right now. So
yeah, what's funny is like every time she has a match, I'm very much invested in the match. I guess different from Brian, like. When I see Toni Storm's matches, I'm like all in. I'm like, I need to see what she's gonna do, and just because her character is just so great right now, she plays it so well, and there's so much depth to it. I did like how they are. I don't know. They're hinting at some stuff because what happened in the match was her protege. I don't know the chick's name.
Mariah May.
Basically, because Serena Deeb had her in a hold and was like, oh. It looks like she's gonna tap. Do I gotta throw the towel in? Oh yeah. It was like, what are you doing? Don't why would you quit the match? Why would you throw in the towel and stopped her? And then at that point, Tony Storm rolled out and then saw the white towel, like, grabbed it out of Luz's hand and like threw it. Like, don't you ever try to like throw in the towel for me or whatever. Basically, kind of blaming him, and he's like, "It wasn't me, it was her." So I don't know if they're throwing in a little monkey wrench in their like group. They're trying to stir up some issues, but I don't know. But for me, I think this one was also tough for Serena Deeb just because I felt like it kind of reminded me of the whole why am I forgetting her name? What was her name in WWE? The Sassy Southern Belle.
Lacey Evans.
Lacey Evans, where they used her real life story and were hoping, she would get that babyface reaction. And in this match, it was just all about Toni Storm. And that's what I feel like there was one moment where like Serena Deeb was like kind of had the upper hand and she's looking at the crowd like, and they're all just cheering, Tony. And she's like,
you know what it is?
You want to know?
Damn.
you want to know what it is? Unless you have like an equally good character to match Toni Storm, she's gonna overwhelm that whole women's division no matter who matches up with her. Yeah. And everyone's always gonna be cheering for Toni because her character is so like it is timeless that unless like you have like a Britt Baker or a Thunder Rosa or some character like to match that, she's gonna, unless you have that.
I don't even think they can impact the way the crowd feels. I don't think so. With the way Toni Storm are working.
The only one that I could say, just because maybe she's been away for so long, is probably Britt Baker. I feel like is the only one who could probably have that crowd reaction. They're gonna be like, "We got Toni, we got Britt. Who are we gonna go for?" I feel like that's a star-studded match right there.
I feel like Toni Storm's recent run, her ascension, her in-ring work to go with it. It's kind of just that nostalgic, hey, you're a heel, but we like you now, and you're organically going to turn babyface. Like, I think that's where that's going with that storyline. It's crazy to think of that, but that's how a lot of these things go. Like, they start off as heels, it takes a wave of its own, and then eventually she's just going to have to become babyface.
It's literally the, like, Roman Reigns, like esque of a run. Like, he came out a huge heel, but then you got everybody literally putting up the ones up. It's like, you're supposed to hate this guy. He's
I don't want to say it's like Austin, or Austin run, or I'm trying to think of somebody else who was just naturally a heel and then just got over. But I'm drawing a blank. Kind of like I'm gonna stick with Austin for right now. But where they're just heels, they're doing all these heel tactics, but then eventually you end up liking them.
Maybe like an MJF, too, like
like something esque of that. But it's just great work for her. It's kudos to her. Hopefully they can go in the right direction of that. We had Will Ospreay defeating Roderick Strong for the International Championship. We had the Bang Bang Club defeating Death's Triangle. Orange Cassidy defeating Trent Beretta, where Trent Beretta's maybe looking like he's going to walk away. Had Chris Jericho defeating Hook, the Learning Tree, getting some help from some new faces there for him. But ultimately, I wanted to talk about Adam Copeland performance against Malachi Black in a steel cage match.
I see. Before Daniel goes, I just want to say, you're a very fucked up person. I just want to let you know. Because what you're laughing about is a post that I shared into the chat of what happened. And as soon as you saw it,
what?
Oh man!
The failed coup de grace from a 50-year-old man off the top of the cage.
That shit. You said that. I was like,
you know what's funny?
Pencil drop into an elbow.
I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what he was thinking.
Edge had no hang time at all.
Edge, you're too old to be doing this shit. I know you're trying to go all out on this last run that you have of how many years or months you have left in the company or whatever it is in wrestling.
Hey, he's in the
But
greatest shape. He's in the greatest shape of his life. All right, leave him
not
alone.
anymore.
You know, how, like some of these agile guys, they do the jumps off the cage that they're like jump forward, jump like kind of like jump forward. He like jumped down, like he literally like jumped down. And I'm like,
What was he supposed? You guys are saying it's an elbow drop. I'm not thinking it's not the Austin elbow drop. I'm thinking that he's going for this type of elbow drop.
I think that's what he was. I think that's what he was aiming for.
I don't know.
None of that happened.
Okay, so I thought
mentally that's what he was trying to do. But he couldn't. I don't think he could turn his body.
when he got up there, I thought he was gonna do just a regular. I thought he was just gonna do a splash, like a frog splash. Or something.
Yeah, just a regular splash. That's what he should have did. Just a regular.
But you know what's funny? And like the commentary tried to justify it. They were like, "Oh, maybe he didn't go for the splash because he was covered in the barbed wire and he didn't want to land on top of the barbed wire and cut and like hurt himself."
Then why go to the top of the cage?
Psychology, people, psychology.
Because it really did look like when he came down, I was like, dude, why are you fully extended? Like,
that's what I'm saying. This dude literally jumped down.
I thought he either like shattered his ankles or something. Because I was like, how do you come down from that height and not break like both your ankles or something?
I was watching Wrestling with Regret, and he said that it reminded him of the Macho Man in 1997 when he jumped down on Roddy Piper and Hulk Hogan and just basically missed everybody and tore his ACL. I'm like, dude, again, after seeing the flamethrower and all this stuff, I'm like, dude, like, what the hell is Adam Copeland thinking? What are you thinking?
Hey, he had a lot. He was full on brood mode, all right.
Yeah, I mean, he did post on social media that this was pretty much a lesson learned that like, yo, I'm 53 years old and now I'm just now seeing what my body can and can't do, and like this was my body putting the brakes on. I'm just like, yo, I'm talking about, dude. Didn't you break your neck and you were out like 8 or 9 years? You were talking about the limits of your body, dude. You were out for like almost a decade because you broke your neck. You had spinal stenosis. So it's like
it's just the way he went down, and I'm just like, dude, there's no way this is happening.
But honestly, minus that one spot, the match was actually really good. I thought the
match
no. Exactly. It was a good match.
He's doing good work. He's doing good work.
I love the game. I love when Gangrel came out at the end. Because I asked the question on social media because Edge had done a podcast where he said that he wanted to use Gangrel at WrestleMania 39, but all the higher ups said no because they were afraid the fans wouldn't remember. But then we watch AEW, Gangrel pops out, he gets one of the biggest pops of the night, and I'm like, "Are you serious? You mean to tell me you guys couldn't do that in WWE?"
Hold on, I will say one thing: Gangrel's fangs. Them things look like they were shaved down. Like this man used to have like full blown fangs. Now they just look like diesel chiclets or some shit like that.
Yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough putting those guards in your in your mouth or whatever.
I don't know how you even do that. I don't even know.
But overall, Gangrel. First of all, that whole thing about not allowing. This is the thing that I always had an issue with WWE. People remember. Exactly. People know who, like Gangrel. First of all, the presence of Gangrel. First of all, I think I might have the same glasses as Gangrel right now. But the overall presence of Gangrel, the entrance of coming out the stage with the flames around him, that's memorable. The blowing the blood in the air, that's memorable. The bloodbaths, that's memorable. To the point where even WCW tried to use the bloodbath. They didn't even do it right. Like, it only works with certain people. Like, he has impactful moments, regardless of where you think he is. Like, people know who Gangrel is. Like, come on now. But no, just again, Edge just going on this reign of terror, even when he was in WWE in his last days, doing the Hell in a Cell match. How the lengths he's willing to go to put on his best performances going forward, even at age 50. Kudos to him. Hopefully he has a healthy recovery, but I just had to touch base on that because that's insanity. That pretty much sums up the night for me. Like that AEW.
But we do have to address one before we move on. We have to address one more thing with this show: the return of MJF.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right, because I just want to say, I mean, when Adam Cole came out, I had read the reports on social media that like they were trying to sneak MJF in. They flew him into Phoenix so he could bring him into Vegas for the show. That he may or may not be there. But as soon as Adam Cole came out, I kind of had a feeling they were headed in that direction. And and the only negative I have about it is just the fact that damn, if Adam Cole never messed up his foot in the first place and he actually was healthy and they actually could allow this story to play out, then MJF's return would have meant so much more. But the fact that it made the impact that it did with his promo, because like he came out, crowd still popped huge. I know some people kind of forgot the story because Adam Cole has been off recovering from his injury, so they haven't really talked about the whole. This is the first time the devil had been mentioned in like months. So storyline wise, it was kind of off. But that's why I say like if Adam Cole was healthy, things would have been a lot better. But MJF comes out. Cuts the classic MJF promo. The only thing that I found funny, and I think Daniel, you had commented on it on the social media when MJF said, "I didn't need New Japan or Vince McMahon to be MJF." But you damn sure needed a Triple H's jacket from when he came back at the Garden, though. So I'm just saying.
Literally the same jacket, the same leather arms. I'm like, oh, like this is the thing with AEW where they try to create. Again, MJF is a big star, megastar. Obviously, just signed an extension with them. They said, obviously, he's AEW. Cool. My thing is, you guys are creating your own entity. Stop mentioning WWE. Stop. Yeah. Just stop. And especially, he doesn't have a history. He doesn't have a history outside. Like, he doesn't have a history with. So it's stop. You need to do that. You don't need to do that.
See, he really doesn't need to do it, but since AEW has existed, that's kind of been like his shtick since he joined the company. I think he even mentioned them during the first press conference they have to announce AEW. Like MJF cut a promo there too, so it's kind of been a part of the MJF character. Talk about the bidding war of 2024.
Yeah, the bidding war was always a big thing.
Yeah, which officially AEW won according to MJF, but definitely love.
This is the thing. This is where we need a real like Woj Janowski or a Shams or something for WWE. I know that's Dave Meltzer and other people like that, but we need to have people that come out and say what actually happened. Like, did you even think about
what happened? Because if they must have given him that, no, they had to have given him the biggest contract. And they had to have given him some type of creative control or something with his stories or whatever. I know in AEW kind of seems like everybody has some creative control, but
that's not the case. They had to have given him some. You can't have 20,000. You can't have 90 Hulk Hogan's on the roster.
They had to have given him something because because I know that he was thinking about WWE. I mean, he might say publicly that he wasn't thinking about it, that AEW was his home and everything, but he had to have been in the back of his mind, thinking like, look what they're doing over there. There's no Vince McMahon anymore, so I might have a little bit more input on the MJF character. So, but they had to have AEW had to have given him something.
I definitely feel before he dropped that pipe bomb. He was probably definitely considering going to WWE just because, he was in the main events, but he wasn't getting the wins. And it probably wasn't until his when he came back after that promo, actually, because I remember he was just kept saying like, oh, Tony shoveled out a huge amount of money just to keep me and blah, blah, blah. And, then mentioning all the stuff about his, the bidding war and everything. But I think all that stuff and then his title run definitely solidified him as AEW is my home and I'm gonna be the top guy in this company and carry this thing on my shoulder, which he did, and it sucks that his body paid for it, but it was he was also working a lot. But I think he had a great title run in the end. But injuries and all that stuff happens. But I think he's definitely an AEW guy for sure. Maybe one day he probably will go. We never know. He's definitely still a young guy too.
Yeah, I mean, he should be in AEW. He should be in AEW. Well, like, it would have been great to see him in WWE because especially where they are right now and how they're booking and everything's different right now. But he should be in AEW. Like, that's homegrown. That's where he made his name.
Yeah.
That's where he had his real first title run. So we gotta at least try to. I like the fact that he's in AEW because if AEW lost him, that's a tough loss. But MJF is there, so AEW Double or Nothing, definitely insane. Has the return of one of their top stars back, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. But they're just going to keep rolling, and I think they have something good with Swerve. They have Mercedes, they have Will Ospreay, they have Okada. The Young Bucks now are in their own entity. They're going to get Kenny back at some point, so they're in the right direction. They're going to continue to move in the right direction with this. So congratulations to them out their event, King of the Ring. But to move on to other notes. Let's get into Sexyy Red enters NXT. And again, when I first saw this, I thought this was a joke. I know they were alluding to it week to week, and then Wrestle Inc. posted that little picture, Sexyy Red in NXT next week, and I'm like, this has got to be a joke. And I've asked last week on the show, hey, is this real? And you guys were like, yes, it's real.
It's real. All right. All right. So, have you guys actually seen NXT yet?
No,
I've seen her segments.
So you saw her segments. Now, from what I saw with her, I mean, it was perfectly fine. They utilized her in the best way possible. I mean, she came out in the beginning. She introduced the new women's North American title, and then I think Tatum Paxley tried to sneak in and take the title from her. Then they had her. Which is a very nice title. Then they had her come out with the world champion and Trick Williams and another up and comer Javon Evans, who I'm a huge fan of right. Is
that the young kid?
Yeah, that's the young kid who I don't know which one of us shared that triple threat, and I had said that the guy with the dreads is signed with NXT. Now he's being featured prominently, and they actually value him because. He has his debut match. The very next week, he had a one-on-one match with Ilya Dragunov. So, he's main eventing with the world champion. So he has a high upside. I think he's only 19, which is crazy.
Oh, wow. He's young.
like he says, man, that boy bouncy. Yeah, he's good. But
Sexyy Red she's the host for NXT Battleground.
Yep. She announced that. Yeah, she announced Battleground. Then she came out with the Trick and Javon. She got involved in the main event because I think one of the Gallus boys was trying to use the Trick's world title, and then she grabbed it from him, so she got involved. Then, like I said, her involvement was very, very minuscule. I know a lot of wrestling fans, online crapped on it, talking crap about how she looks and saying not being a fan of all the twerking and stuff. And I'm just like, guys,
I was going to say the same thing.
I'm just like, guys, she as much as hip hop is watered down now. Unfortunately, she is a prominent figure in hip hop right now. And even though people feel the way that they feel about her. The social media numbers don't lie because as soon as she came on, NXT was the number one trend on X, and then the next day, today, because my wife was telling me because she goes on like these sites like Shade Room, gossip in the city, and apparently that people were posting Sexyy Red on NXT and even commented saying, "Oh, what show is this? What show was she on? This is wrestling. I may watch it I may watch it now." So, and then she was also featured on the Breakfast Club. They were asking, asking, "Oh yeah, Sexyy Red was on wrestling that last night." So, if it involves cross promotion like that, and you can get more fans in, I definitely see the business.
If Sexyy Red moves into professional wrestling and becomes a manager, that's all I'm thinking. That's all I'm thinking. The pivot is crazy. She is everywhere. Yeah,
talk about marketing. But
Exactly.
what Brian says is true. It's like, look at all the eyes she brought to the brand. Now people are like, oh, what's she doing? Oh, she's on wrestling. Oh, let me check it out. It's like, this is how you bring more new fans, and people are like, yo, wrestling's cool now. Wrestling's this. Like, really, they bring in people like this. And look, they even got, I mean, Snoop's not something new, but like still another hip hop figurehead. You got them promoting gin and juice and stuff like that. Like, and they're always bringing like hip hop artists on and stuff like that too. Like Wale is a big wrestling fan.
Yeah, and apparently
they should bring Wale in, by the way. They should bring
because apparently this appearance by Sexyy Red, this isn't the last we're going to see of her. Apparently, there's going to be more Sexyy Red appearances. So
she's the host. She's the host of Battleground. So
yeah, she's the host. She's the host of Battle.
When's Battleground? Is that this weekend?
After Battleground, I think we're going to see more Sexyy Red.
This weekend. It's this weekend, right? Battleground.
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday. Okay.
Not this Sunday.
But,
next Sunday.
As you guys were saying, it brings eyes to the product. Again, I was confused by it. I was going to check in NXT anyway, but it's just like now there's a little bit more intrigue. Honestly, Sexyy Red in NXT. I'm like, I'm not an NXT. I'm not a Sexyy Red fan. Her music is indifferent to me. She's prominent, as Brian said, in hip hop and stuff like that, with social and stuff like that. So kudos to her for being everywhere. I just know she's everywhere. But her being in NXT is crazy to me. It was entertaining, and Shawn Michaels is celebrating. They're singing his song in the car. Yeah. So Shawn Michaels is running the victory lap with Sexyy Red. So definitely interesting to say the least. And NXT, just a lot of stuff happening. Lola Vice is going to be facing Shayna Baszler in an underground match.
All right, sorry to cut you off, Daniel. I just want to say, Lewis, since you haven't watched NXT yet, watch it as soon as possible, because in my honest opinion, I honestly think this is one of the best episodes of NXT in a long time. Like this actually goes back. This episode of NXT kind of rivals the old school black and gold. Yeah, so that's how good it was. I don't want to reveal everything, because I kind of I know majority of stuff you probably saw on social media with people debuting and people coming from other companies and making challenges. So So
again, I think this is again. I don't want to spoil the beans for Lewis, but it's just what NXT is doing. I feel like they're doing it the right way. They're building the right way. They're trying, because for a long time I was worried about Trick Williams, because I'm like, who's going to challenge Trick Williams? Especially after Braun Breaker getting called up, Carmelo Hayes getting called up. I'm like, who? Baron Corbin getting called back up. I'm like, who is he going to face? And they've been able to find somebody. So I'm like, that's good that they can do that. The women's division is really building up with Lola Vice and Jadia Parker and all these other women that are competing for the women's North American title. Michin is down there. She's going to be in that match as well. So just a lot of things going into motion with NXT right now.
Does she get sent back to NXT?
If she did, she's a top star in the women's division now, and that's a positive. That's all.
Michin?
Michin, yeah.
Yeah. She's down there. She's going to be competing for the NXT Women's North American title, and I hope they give it to her, because she needs to do something.
Realistically, I hope that they put it on her, because realistically, when I look at the other women, it's just like, they're all good, but it's just like, if you really want to establish this title, you gotta put it on. You gotta put it on the veteran in this match per se, and people don't even really look at Michin as a veteran, because since she's been back, the only noteworthy thing she really did was when she was in that 5-on-5 storyline with the AJ Styles and the Good Brothers against the Judgment Day. Other than that, she hasn't really done anything. So
not for a while.
Even in her NXT run. Even in her NXT run, she had impactful moments, but she never got her a chance with the title.
She never won the title, no.
And she was going through tables, falling off ladders. I remember her down there. So it's like, hopefully they give her a run and give her a prominent role down there. Because it's like, especially with everything going down there, the OC's down there now as well. So it's like, give them a run down there and let them cause havoc and do their own thing. She's a babyface, but it's like, let her get her run down there. But yeah, just touching on NXT because it's like I haven't been watching NXT in a little bit, but I've been peeking here and there, seeing things on social media. Of course, I follow their pages on Instagram and YouTube, so I'm always seeing clips. But it's like to actually sit there and see a show, it's like they're doing something good. They're building something good. They're kind of rebuilding. You know how NXT always does like a reset when they're getting back in form. So it's good to see them actually creating new stars and putting people in prominent positions. But Sexyy Red is a part of that. So we got to acknowledge that.
Crazy all that in a sentence.
Sexyy Red in professional wrestling is because there was rumors that she was supposed to be at WrestleMania. She was supposed to be there. The whole thing with Yeet and Jey Uso, and that was supposed to be a whole type of thing. That didn't work out. So maybe this is down the line. Maybe that's working. Maybe that's happening in the new future.
Like I said. And like I said last week, I mean, if they were going to utilize Sexyy Red, NXT was the place to go. If this was on Raw or SmackDown, I don't think it would have fit as much. But in NXT, with that little core audience that they have down there that goes to those shows, it fit perfectly. I mean, because you heard the crowd, even they were singing her song. You know, like
yeah. Also to put it with Trick Williams, that's a good pairing if you're going to create some type of buzz and some type of wave. But yeah, man, just crazy week of wrestling is going to continue. We're going to see what happens with Friday on SmackDown, AEW Collision, and what they're doing with Swerve and etc. Mercedes. Definitely a crazy week of wrestling and coming down to a close here. But that will do it for this episode. I forgot our catchphrase. What I was going to end it with. You gave it to us, Brian. Always kick out on two. Keep your shoulders off the mat.
Yeah. That's exactly what it was. It was keep your shoulders. It was keep your shoulders off the mat. Which I don't even know if you guys even agreed that. Well, Lewis, I didn't hear what you thought about it. I know Daniel, you were kind of maybe, but what did you think about it?
You got to come up with something. You got to come up with
something. I like it.
Your shoulders off the mat.
Yeah. Keep your shoulders off the mat. We'll work with it.
Yeah, I gotta get with the sound bites. That's what I gotta get. I gotta get with the sound bites on it. Because it would just probably be Jim Ross or some variation of that, or just some crazy wrestling Nia Jax saying "my hole" or something like that. Just putting this out there, man. But yeah, that will do it for this episode of Ring Takes. As always, thank you guys for joining me. Until next time.
1, 2, 3.